Hello, Libra. Hello. How are you today? Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Today we are taking a look at the predictions coming in for you, my dear. Welcome. Like, share, comment. Subscribe if you haven't. If you find yourself subscribing, make sure that you hit the bell so you'll be notified in the event that I post more content for you. And so let's jump into your reading. We're looking at the predictions coming in for you from this moment forward. Ancient Stones Oracle deck is what we are starting with today. Beautiful gift I received from a friend and a mentor. This taps us into the wisdom of the earth through ancient stones. We are also ending off with the wisdom of our Chakra Oracle deck. And for the tarot, we are delving into the Chakra of the tarot. And so we're going to start off with our Ancient Stone Wisdom Oracle deck, okay? Take a look here. For Libra, we're taking a look here. For Libra, I hope you all are well today, enjoying the last little moments of the weekend before we go into our new week. All right, let's get one more. First card coming out is the Temple. That is directing to the wisdom within, to quiet all external noise. Spirit is drawing your attention to the power within. Every last one of the predictions have been about tapping into the inner wisdom and our inner knowledge that exists within us. And so Temple came out first for you, Libra. As you can see, there is a light shining down in the pit of her belly. This is where you are being drawn. There, in that space, holds wisdom for any questions that you may have, any needs that are arising in this moment. It's all within you. We don't have to go to a temple to access knowledge and peace and wisdom. It's understanding that you are, in fact, a living temple, a vessel that resides all of the power of your creator within you. And so this is the space that you can actually access at any point in time to commune with your higher power, with the sacred wisdom that you have within. And it's not a card or a energy that discriminates. So this card is not talking about having a certain belief system or a certain standing within a society, right? This is the lies within each of us. If you have the signature of humanity, then we're talking to you. This card does not discriminate. This energy that's available within you does not discriminate. It's been given to all of us the potential to go within and access at any moment of the day. You don't have to open the specific hours when it's open. This is at any moment of the day. It's available wherever you are. And if we're lucky, while we're there, discovering what's within, not just what's above, but it's within us. The specifics about that, it's all around us. It's below us. It's omnipresent is what it is. So going within is really the act of not looking outside of yourself for what it is that you need or desire. It's not looking in those places for guidance right now. Not that there isn't wisdom outside of ourselves or guidance. There absolutely is. As a matter of fact, there is wisdom in having a multitude of counselors and guidance, right? But this is talking about you. Instead of accessing that outer external guidance, there's something that's always within. There are limitations with the external guidance that is, many times dependent upon certain hours or certain circumstances. But this is something that's available to you at any moment when you need it. 24/7 access. Now, this does invite you to prioritize, this type of connection that you have with yourself, and even to actually routinely implement some type of schedule to actually do this relationship with yourself. Even one that will even develop and cultivate into something that you're tapping into moment by moment. Like, that's the beauty and the limitlessness of this that we're talking about, this resting place, this place of wisdom and power, your intuitive place. Actually, you're listening to this right now. You can actually access it right now to intuit. Yeah. Sometimes it's very easily accessible. Something as easy as just putting your hand on your heart and breathing in and out and feeling the air going in and out of your body, in and out of your lungs. It's the ability to quiet everything outside of yourself. If you get to a place where you're so still that you can feel your heartbeat in any area of your body, yeah, that's where you can go to quiet and to actually tap into yourself. You can do this in front of a mirror as well. Just to remind you that you have access to wisdom that's always available for you. And you may be being called to experience this or to tap into this, whether this is something you've never experienced or maybe something that you are very well acquainted with. Spirit is calling you to this, to your temple. We have the kich. I've never drawn this one. This is for you, Libra, the kich. It's alluding to an elder, a teacher, a wise one, but it's talking about an experience. Someone may be having an experience here in the future here. I can't help but think of ancestors. Someone may be having an ancestral experience in the future here. And this may be one to give you something that you're needing right now. They may come in the form of a teacher or to extend some level of wisdom or to help you experience or navigate some type of experience. This word, kich, comes from the old Gaelic word cailleach, which translates as veiled one. And there's a word in modern Irish and Scottish Gaelic which means old woman or hag, or it could be, when we look into the world of fairy tales, there's a word that is used for the old witch in the forest. They call her I did a story on it. What was the name of, dang it, I forget the name. But look in my stories, and there's a story there about what we're talking about, this energy of a wise one, an elder, someone who is connected with spirit and nature. That many times they get the name witch when it does. That's just words, go into words, and words were created to help, to cause us to think a certain way. There's a level of manipulation that exists with words, and depending on what culture we're viewing that word is, it could either have a negative connotation to it, or it could be neutral, or it could have a positive one. It depends on the nature of that culture, right, as it pertains to the word. But when we look at this word, it's talking about an old woman who most likely is a woman who, instead of existing in mainstream society, actually chooses to exist amongst nature, and because of that is estranged from society and labeled with many different derogatory terms to cause people to think of her in a certain way, which was one of them, right? And so I don't know how I think about that word. Some people don't have a problem with it. It's like some of the other words that are labeled to cause us to look at people at a certain way. And sometimes those labels have very negative connotations and consequences labeled and connected to them. So when you hear that word, it automatically veils. It's almost like a spell being cast on someone because of a word, right? And so it's very powerful, the language that we use. But this is referring to an elder, an ancestor, someone who holds great wisdom, who is a teacher. Because by the time we get to ancestral age, we're expected to be able to teach those coming after us some wisdom, some life lessons, some experience, right? We're expected to be able to guide them through some things that we have mastered by this time. I don't think there's anything derogatory about that. But again, it attaches itself to certain cultures of language to stamp certain types of ideas on people. It's very manipulative and it's very intentional, the word usage. And so pay attention to words. I don't know why that's coming up, but this was also a word connected to the Celtic language as well. It was referring to a Celtic goddess, referring to her as a powerful and wise woman who was actually uplifted in Scotland, Ireland. And it was also in the Isles of the Man in pre-Christian times as well. This was believed to be out in mountains and hills of Scotland, where this idea around the kich or kalik, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, this wise one, this elder, this teacher, who is also herself in a giant form of some kind. She would stroll across the land, dropping huge rocks, it is said, from her apron. And she was also responsible for creating and caring for many of the rivers and the lochs. Y'all heard of the Loch Ness Monster, right? So it's like fairy tale stories, but also she was one to manage and cap the wells every night to prevent flooding from happening. And depending on the story, this is a Paliak, also could be described as like a weather goddess as well, and an ancestor goddess, a seasonal goddess, a creator goddess. The Kaliak appears as a wise elder, right, in life. And she invites you to be open to deep learning and seeing life through a learner's mind, someone who is beginning to understand something. And so in the future here, there's something about this. You may have some experience that connects you with an ancestor, an elder. This could even be someone in physical life that represents this energy of someone with wisdom, someone who has lived, who has some energy of protection about her and guidance as well. And she may actually be in the form of an elder, inviting you to actually slow down long enough to get wisdom with what you're experiencing in life right now. And she may also be calling you to spend time with those older than you instead of just people that are younger or your age. There's not a lot that you can learn from people your age above and beyond your experience, but there's a lot to be learned from your elders. And so she may be directing you to actually spend more time with your elders or to slow down long enough to listen to the wisdom and the guidance that is being shared with you. This is a strong message coming in through this card to honor your elders and also your ancestors in some shape or form. Also to live life through experience. And if you are in fact an elder that's listening to this message, this can be an invitation to step into your wisdom and your elderhood to be able to guide and direct the younger generations, okay? That's powerful. And I wanted to get the name of that story. For those of you that don't know, I also do stories. I haven't done any in a while, but I also do stories on my page. And there was a story that I shared here. And this story was about, let me see here. Kind of like what we're talking about here for you today, Libra. When we're describing this woman, it was an interaction between what we're being described here and a younger woman. And it was kind of like a guidance into the experience of this younger woman's or this younger girl's intuition and meeting up with this elder who actually has a higher form of intuition that exceeds hers, that it was completely disconnected because it was a higher level of wisdom. Her operation was way above the young girls. The young girl was being led into learning what that is, her intuition. This woman was like a master of it. And there was a level of protection that she sent for the young girl through this story against some dangers that she was facing. And it was just a pretty unfolding of it. And it delves into a lot of cultural, what is the word I want to use? Cultural, when I talk about words, it's talking about how we manipulate words to get people to think a certain way about something. So it really uses a lot of that type of language and a lot of that scenery to challenge that mentality that has been embedded in us. And many times there's a lot of manipulation, brainwashed, for us to think of it negatively. But it's called, I don't know why I can't see it here. Give me 1 second so I can pull it up. see. Okay. Basalisa is the name of it. So I'm actually going to post it down in the description. I'm going to post a link about that video if you want to watch it. It's just a short little 20-minute or so story about using your intuition. It's a lesson extending between this energy, the kalalik, this idealistic elder who is actually, comes into contact with this younger form of herself, maybe. I don't know. You can interpret it the way that you want, but it's called Vasalisa, and I will put the link to it down below when I'm done with this video. So let's move back in to where we're going. The Kalalik. So you may be having an experience coming up here in the future that calls you to honor or connect or accept some type of wisdom that's being shared with you from an elder. If you're an elder, you're being called to actually connect with those younger than you and activate your role as a kalaiyak. However I say that, it doesn't give the pronunciation. So the last thing coming out for you, Libra, is the healing stone. And looks like a masculine energy laying prostrate, maybe it looks like in some type of natural environment. But the healing stone is talking about tenderness, care, gentleness, and nourishment. And I feel like this is definitely towards yourself. So the healing stone is actually in line with a ritual that we use all across the world. I guess we would call it self-care nowadays, the healing stones. And what happens is they warm stones and they provide a comfort and a restoration to our bodies. Have you ever went and got a pedicure and they brought out them hot stones and they rub it against your legs and it's like the best thing since bread? But there's something about providing care for yourself, placing yourself in an environment where you'll be cared for and nurtured back to the highest vibration for yourself. And this talks about using healing qualities to do that. Interestingly, we take stones, which is known to be one of the hardest substances in nature, and we actually utilize it. We transmute the energy for healing to actually be a soothing process for the body, right? And so this may mean doing something that normally would not be considered to be something soothing and healing, but actually using that, turning that into some type of healing medicinal process. I don't know if you might be in the process of healing something physical. Maybe you have a wound or some type of element that's happening in your body that needs care and that needs to be nurtured back to health. It could be physical, it could be mental, it could be emotional, or it could be spiritual. Well, this card is really coming up because Spirit wants you to know that this is time to care for yourself. This is time for deep rest. In this time, healing is available for you to process it for your benefit. And all you have to do is say yes to it and trust the process. This requires for you to prioritize yourself, though. Prioritize your body. Prioritize your mind. Prioritize your soul above all else. What does that look like? Sometimes that means saying no to going out to spend time with friends or loved ones. and staying in instead and resting. Sometimes it means saying no to that extra day of work that you can make a little bit more money. You may not even need it. Instead, going to see someone who can actually add on to your mental stability, doing something that's going to be fruitful and beneficial for your mental stability. That could be reading a book or going for a session, a massage session, a Reiki session, to reframe how you're thinking, doing something that's beneficial and prioritizing your health. Okay. You're being called to do that right now and to treat yourself with tender care, doing whatever is needed to replenish and nourish yourself back to health. This may be calling you to actually slow down. If you've been moving very quickly, slow down your pace and to prioritize different parts of your life. Give me 1 second because my battery is going dead. Let me get my battery here. 1 second. Thank you, Libra. Okay, I'm back. I have to go and get my plug for my charger. And so, yeah, this is all about you taking a moment to take care of yourself, Libra. Thank you. And so let's take a look here. I am going to pull out some tarot and see what's happening here around future energies for you, Libra. So as it stands, where you are right now, we take a look at your energy right now, Libra. Right now, you seem to be very content, probably even very happy, very satisfied with life as it is right now. You have a lot of clarity. There is something, though, that comes in as a little bit conflictual with the Five of Swords. That means there is something that is possibly not sitting right with you mentally right now. There's a little bit of conflictual energy coming in here. But other than that, everything else looks good. It's something that you can navigate and handle with the King of Swords. So I have the Sun, the King of Swords, and the Five of Swords. And so this could be that need, it could be that need to prioritize yourself. It could be something just as simple as that, the need to bring your self back into balance in some type of way. That definitely could be it. And that doesn't mean that things aren't good, that life isn't good, that things aren't happening the way that they should. It just means that there is a part of that overall balance that requires for you to prioritize yourself. And if that is not brought into the balance, you find a little bit of conflictual energy. Everything could be okay and perfect. And then there's just something, a little bit of nagging in the back. It could very well be you needing to prioritize yourself and add in a level of self-care with all of the busyness, with all of the wonder that's happening. There's something that needs your attention in this moment where you are. Now, as you move forward, what I have coming out here is the King of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Coins. You may have questions about like where you're headed here in the future. For some of you, you could be wanting to know like what's going to be your next move, how you can make that next move. You may be wondering, where your next offer will come from. There's something that's being offered to you here in the future. You may be wondering about that offer and wanting clarity or more clarity around that. The knights come in to bring offers. They come bringing or bearing gifts sometimes. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Coins is what's coming out here. And so that says that someone will be offering you something here in the future. With the Knight of Coins, it could be a job. With the Knight of Wands, this could be some ability to do something for yourself. But there's questions around it. I don't know if that's when it will come in or how it will come in. Maybe this is something that you're expecting. But the King of Wands also could be who's offering this to you. It could be the energy that you're sitting in as well. An energy of clarity, an energy of knowing how to do something and to pull something in for yourself. The King of Wands is very masterful when it comes to making things happen. This is having a high level of abilities. So you may be questioning whether or not, in the future you'll be able to do something. Or you may be questioning someone else's ability to do something. If it is concerning these offers coming in, whether or not they're actually able to offer you this, right? There's some questions around offers and possibly someone who is offering them. And if it's not that, you're questioning your ability to do something here. Now, when we go back to the energies that came out in the oracle, this is where this wisdom comes in. The need to get guidance and wisdom. Also, this is tapping into the temple, tapping into your own inner guidance and wisdom. You'll need to slow down long enough to hear the answers, whether it's coming from someone else or something that you'll go within to actually seek and receive for yourself. Also, I have the moon coming out here with the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So there's some obstacle around you being able to release something or someone, and some obstacle around someone being able to release you. There may be someone that you have walked away from in the past that's coming back around. You're wondering whether or not you should just leave it in the past. I don't feel like you're seeing things clearly. The moon says that there's a little bit of confusion, or the emotions may somehow be causing a little bit of confusion or haziness here. There's some other element here that's causing someone not to be able to possibly see things clearly. But to be able to see clearly to make the right decisions is actually very necessary with the 7 of Cups. There are things that are in this equation that may present some level of, deception or danger. The Seven of Cups is a need to slow down and not just go off the hem, not just judge things by the cover. There's a need to see things for what they are. And the fact that the moon is here, that means that you don't. There's something that you're not missing. There's something that you don't know. There's something that's not being seen clearly. And it feels emotional. And that's why there's the need to enter into this level of self-care. What you're being presented with in the future here is going to need for you to be balanced and grounded and really in a very healthy place within yourself. I almost feel like, in the spirit is showing me someone stepping into a ring, where you need to be at your very tip top shape, at the top of your awareness. It's almost like stepping into a ring of lions. You have like a whip and a chair to fend them off. You're the ring master. But imagine stepping into a ring of lions to do your job and you're like half there. There's something that's affecting your awareness. Like say you went and didn't get enough sleep last night. So you're like half awoke, or maybe you just came from, having a little socializing event and you're like halfway conscious. Right? And you're stepping in and you can't really stand up straight and you're not looking and seeing things clearly, the danger that would present. And so there's something about the situation coming up here that's going to present a challenge for you. That's why you, number one, understanding the value of what you have within. You can trust yourself. You are your sacred temple. Right? There is a value that exists within your body, right? You are your sacred temple. First of all, treat it that way. Acknowledge it for what it is. There is a need to seek guidance outside of yourself. And it may, in fact, be from someone that is older than you, an elder, whether this is in the spiritual or in the physical. There's a need to seek guidance, a higher level of guidance for direction here. And then to make sure that you are at the top of your game with where you're about to head, right? There's something about the importance of the decisions that you'll be presented with. That means everything. It could be accepting offers. It could be you extending offers, but there's something about you being at the top of your game here in the future that's presenting a challenge, because there's something, possibly something manipulative here, or there's a chance that you might, be a little bit susceptible. If you don't have that reinforcement, okay? So there's some very important things that are happening here for you in the future, Libra. There's going to be some endings that happen. Some things that are going to end. And there's going to be some opportunities for new beginnings. Now, those new beginnings may come in as entering back into what you ended or starting something completely new. Because I see the world here, which talks about closing doors, ending certain parts of your journey, closing them off and ending them and starting something new. moving on to something else. Like you got whatever was needed with these experiences. You clearly understand the lessons. You've learned them. And now it's time to walk away and move on to something new. New lessons, new experiences. With the Ace of Wands. But then the Hangman comes here too. For some of you, there's a pause here. So what seems like an ending is not really an ending. It's actually going to be like a pause, and then it will restart again. This pause may in fact give you the time to evaluate whether or not this is actually something that you desire. There's something important about analyzing all of what this experience has been. Is that what you desired out of the experience? Because if it's not, you have the opportunity for something completely new. I feel like how you're thinking about what it is that you want is kind of in light of the experience that you've had. And that's why the Hangman is here. The Hangman is all about deliberation. There's some circumstance that's going to happen that pauses things long enough for you to get the clear understanding and to make a clear, concise choice of whether or not you want to continue this moving forward, or whether you not, or whether or not you want a fresh start. So what is this event for Libra? Yeah. There's something that's going to come in that's going to shake things up. This may have something to do with a father figure too. This has something to do with a father figure. It's going to come in and shake things up. Now, this has something to do with possibly someone stepping in and repositioning things the way that they should be, or bringing in that clarity, giving some kind of direction in this situation to establish order, okay? And this is going to possibly cause a scene or some event to happen, but it's going to give you the information you need. Okay, it's going to give you the information you need, and you'll have a decision to make. That's where the Seven of Cups comes in, the Five of Cups, and the Moon. You'll have a decision to make on how you want to move forward. For some of you, this is going to be like creating a clean slate for you to actually start all over again from scratch, but it's going to be with the wisdom that you've learned from your past experience. So you'll have a better idea of what it is that you're looking to create for yourself, because you'll be creating from experience. Okay. Yeah, this is going to actually possibly end different ways, depending on what it is that you will decide, Libra. And many of you will make different decisions when you come to this crossroads. There's some need, though. And when this is all out in the light, you'll have to really deal with some of the darker elements of who you are and of your situation, right? This may cause you to come face to face with some things that you may not have wanted to deal with. And, you being able to walk forward into healthier connections, healthier situations that will actually give you what, or pour back into you what you're pouring out. I get the energy of reciprocation here in the outcome. There's some balance that will be available to you in your outcome, but there's also some needing to come face to face and deal with something that you may not have wanted to deal with. This is going to cause that to come out, and you'll need to deal with some hard things, some hard truths, okay? And you'll need to, there's some decision here that you'll have to make. I almost feel like you will attempt to juggle, but that's going to be out of possibly not wanting to really deal with the nature of what comes up. Here's an opportunity that's coming up for you to be liberated in some type of way. In the back of your mind, it's like you want something different or something better, but there's something that you'll have to give up in exchange for that better. And there's going to be, for a moment, the attempt to juggle those two within yourself, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to have to actually choose yourself. You're going to have to choose yourself this time, Libra. And that's what the message has been. It's about temple, understanding that you are a living vessel that houses the power of the Creator within. That's how important you are. Apart from everything and everyone else that's happening, it's understanding the value that you hold within and the access, right, that is immediately available at all times to the wisdom that's there to make these decisions that are beneficial to you. In addition to that, the access you have, to wisdom around you as well. There's some guidance that you'll have access to, that you're being guided to. And that's a higher level of wisdom. This may in fact be that protection that steps in for you here. There's some guidance of elderly energy, possibly ancestral. It could be in the physical here. But overall, it's up to you to prioritize yourself. Sometimes we do get ourselves in sticky situations, and we have, people that are available to help us get out, but then it's up to us to learn those lessons so that we can move forward in wisdom and not only want better, but also do better. When we know better, we do better. There's something that you will walk away from this experience knowing with this Ace of Wands. And with that knowing, you'll be expected to do better and make better decisions for yourself. Okay? I feel like there's some liberation here that's happening for you in the future. This might be around a certain situation, right? But there's some truth that you need to come to grips to, some realization, some really being honest with yourself about where you are and what you're experiencing. Yeah. What you choose is going to be very important. So seek guidance. Whatever's coming up here in the future, you won't have the necessary immediate access to the answers. The first thing is going within, checking in with yourself. And then the other thing is the fact utilizing the wisdom around you. That's coming in as elderly wisdom, teaching. You'll have that kind of experience, or someone that is experienced, to come in and give you a different kind of perspective. Yeah. First of all, opening up to this guidance is important. You see how her heart is open? This is a heart message. Even when we're doing what we call yoga, we're actually communicating through our bodies, right? To the energies that be. The camel pose, as you can see, her posture here is one that opens up her heart and is inviting, which is actually the doorway. Our heart is the center point of our being. It is between the lower chakra energies and the higher chakra energies. And it is a point of balance between the two. And this is like the point where we open and become, we expose what is within. We open ourselves not only to that which is beneficial that needs to come in, but we also open to release what we hold within. That's what you're being asked to do. Access what is being held within, what you have within. There's a level of connection. There's a level of wisdom that you hold within yourself. And I feel like you know what it is, but it's a matter of opening to it and acknowledging it and just accepting what it is that you know. Opening up to truth. Your heart knows. It does. We can say all day long how happy we are, but if we lay in the bed at night and we cry, we have to listen to our heart and find out what's going on there and what we need to do to balance that out, to bring our experience into alignment with what we're feeling in our heart. We also have the third eye chakra coming out here for you. I could be speaking to someone who do have some intuitive energy that's active and flowing and trying to actually get out and communicate. The third eye is our, it's our chakra that lies between our eyebrows. And it taps us in to the unseen, right? We're talking about that knowing that we have. There's something about trusting yourself, what you're feeling, what you know that you already know. Now, accepting that is a whole different level, right? There's something here about trusting yourself. That's what this is about. It's trusting. It's connecting with your higher knowing. It's one thing to see with these eyes, but sometimes what we see is not necessarily what is actually truly being presented. There's something underneath the veil of the physical, right? This is where we see beyond that. Again, we see people all day long that, look very happy on the outside. The life that they live and present looks one way, But on the underneath, there's something, there may be more, that tells us about what's going on. It's being able to see on that level beneath the surface. Spirit is asking that you see, right? Don't just listen to what people say, but hear what they're showing you. See what they're showing you. Actions always speak louder than words. And that means to trust yourself. Because you know the truth of what you're seeing. This is also something that will be strengthened when you prioritize yourself and begin to acknowledge yourself more and trust what it is that you're receiving when you have those moments of quietude and when you surrender to prioritizing yourself. You are telling yourself, I trust you and I'm going to take care of you. You'll find that those messages become more prominent and louder, and they'll show up more often because you're building a trust and a relationship with your inner self. And so it shows up more. And lastly, the lion, which is courage. You're being asked to take a step, to bet on yourself, to step out of the posture of fear, of believing yourself and trusting yourself. I don't know if there's just that slight little sliver of doubt that's like, I don't know, but you can trust yourself. And if it's any consolation, even if you are wrong, right, there is still the relationship that's built with trusting yourself. Even if you are wrong, you're still telling yourself, I trusted you to know. The relationship is still being built. There's something about you stepping out and seeing your power, trusting yourself, understanding who you are. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is talking about your ego, how you show up in the world, your personal power, apart from everything and everyone else. You being courageous and standing in that, believing in yourself, knowing how powerful you are. Part of that is being willing to look at yourself in all honesty too. This is who I am. And if there's something that you want to see that you're not seeing, it's having the heart and the confidence to change those things. Change happens through the choices that we make when opportunities come up to act, right? It's a process. It doesn't just happen magically. We make that happen by making certain choices when they arise, by choosing certain directions that we'll take, right? It's all in your hands. And there's some guidance that's coming through here. Spirit is saying, listen. Listen to the higher level of guidance from your elders. Matter of fact, seek your elders. That's what Spirit is saying. Go out and connect with your elders. They have some wise instruction for you. I do feel like I'm speaking to younger people. But if in fact you are an older person, seek out younger people. You have wise instruction for them. There's a command here to seek. Now, whichever side of the equation you're on, Spirit is telling you to go after them because they have something for you. Whether you're the plug or the outlet, they have something for you. Okay? That's what I have for you, Libra. Okay? There's some event that's happening here, and it feels like you'll need to choose yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Things may in fact fall in order to cause you to see a truth here that you won't be able to deny. There's some level of information or awakening that's going to happen here. And it has something to do with you being guided in the right direction, possibly having some assistance to help come through and guide you through this difficult time of operation. And when all else fails, know that you are your own source of wisdom. You just have to trust it. Okay. This is beautiful. I love it. And for those of you that do, I think part of this too is about you trusting yourself. That's a huge part of this, because that intuition part came out quite a bit here. But if you want to hear that story, it's about 20, 25 minutes. And it's just a story that I read from a book. And if you want to hear it, I'm going to put that link below for you, Libra. And you can go over and watch that video and listen to that story about intuition. Okay. And learning to trust and connect with it. And see what you get out of that story. I think we all will have different parts that we connect to. And we may all even come out with a different lesson of that story, different things that stuck out to us, that was highlighted, or the light was shown on certain parts in that story. But it's very interesting. So I'll put that below for your enjoyment. That's what I have for you, Libra. The future holds some personal challenges about you stepping into your personal power and almost like stepping into another level of self-responsibility. Spirit is really saying you can't hold anyone else responsible for your unhappiness. All of that is within your hands. And there's a level of truth that's required in order for you to get to that place where you want to be. A level of honesty and a level of taking responsibility for that within yourself. And that which you don't know, you have access to. Okay. Until next time, Libra, thank you for stopping by. Again, this has been a general reading. So don't try to make it fit. If it does, wonderful. If it doesn't, then it is what it is. If you're looking for a personal reading, you can hit me up at my email. And even if you don't want a reading, you can stop by and just say hello. Let me know what you thought of the reading, what stuck out to you. I'd be open for a discussion. Talk to me. I'll talk back, okay? Again, Libra, thank you so much for stopping by. I forgot to put on your little banner. Well, here it is. It's better late than never, right? All right, Libra, thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure. Again, I will catch you all next time. It has been Blood Moon Oracle coming to you with future predictions of energy that is headed your way. It's time for you to put yourself first, baby. Prioritize yourself. I feel a level up in the spirit coming up for you. Okay, so get ready.